Good morning, Team Alabama. We are ready for another Achieve 3000. Please join me in reading Feeding a Movement. Please do the before reading poll at this time, and we will read the stretch article together at a 1280. Rosa Parks is famous for catalyzing the civil rights movement when she was arrested for refusing to give up her seat on a segregated Montgomery, Alabama bus in 1955. But it was a woman named Georgia Gilmore who led the efforts that enabled the ensuing bus boycott to keep rolling. Before Parks was arrested for her recalcitrance, Gilmore herself had boarded a bus one afternoon as she dropped her money in the payment box. The driver shouted at her for not using the back door, ordering her to leave and reboard through the rear. I told him I was already on the bus and I couldn't see why I had to get off, Gilmore recalled later. Still, she swallowed her anger and exited the bus. But before she could reach the back door, the driver sped away. And that moment, she vowed never to ride a bus again. A few months later, after Parks's arrest, Gilmore heard about a meeting planned to discuss the injustices endured by Black Americans. She and about 5,000 others showed up for the assembly, led by a young pastor named Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr., at the Holt Street Baptist Church on December the 5th, 1955. There, attendees agreed not to ride the buses until Black Americans' equal rights were recognized and respected. But Gilmore wanted to do more than stay off the buses. As a culinary professional, she cooked up a plan to fund the fight with food. Gilmore enlisted the help of other women, and together they formed a clandestine group dubbed the Club from Nowhere. For many of the women openly participating in the protest could draw the ire from white employers and landlords. To eschew the possibility of losing their jobs or homes, the women worked behind the scenes, firing up their stoves and fueling the protest. The women prepared everything from chicken sandwiches and fried fish to peach pie and pound cakes, which they stealthily sold at beauty salons, churches, cab stands, and boycott meetings. Proceeds from the group's food sales helped sustain the movement with critical capital referred to as money from nowhere. The sustenance the women cooked up funded a carpool system with hundreds of cars, trucks, and wagons at dozens of pickups and drop-off points throughout the city, giving protesters the means to get where they needed to go without setting foot on a bus for more than a year. The boycott officially ended on December the 20th, 1956, shortly after the United States Supreme Court overturned laws allowing segregated seating on public buses. The alternative transportation system was key to maintaining key to maintaining the momentum of the boycott for such a long time, because without it, protesters likely would have been forced to return to riding the buses much sooner, lessening the boycott's impact. Gilmore's initiative and the support she rallied for the movement changed lives, including her own. In February of 1956, a few months after the boycott began, Dr. King and other protest leaders were charged with unlawful conspiracy for their roles in the boycott. Gilmore's fiery testimony at Dr. King's trial in support of the civil rights leader made her a hero to many. But it also cost Gilmore her job. Her ties to the Club from Nowhere didn't end there, though. After hearing about Gilmore's job loss, Dr. King, who lived a few blocks away from Gilmore and relished her cooking prowess, encouraged her to go into business for herself. She took that advice, and with a bit of financial support from the civil rights leader, Gilmore turned her home into a catering business and informal restaurant. where Black and white customers, including U.S. President Lyndon B. Johnson, dined together on Gilmore's home-cooked meals. Okay, there you have it. The stretch article for Feeding a Movement. Go ahead and read your article at your Lexile level and then do your activity question. Please shoot for an 88 to a 100%, no lower than a 75. Okay, do your very best. Have a great day, Team Alabama.